MSFS2020 DFW ground, give way to 1 off your right, runway 36 right, taxi via Golf 10, Foxtrot Whiskey Papa.
Waco approach 127.6 up. Alright, we'll give way to the guy on our right, 36 right, Golf 10, Foxtrot Whiskey Papa.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream today. We're on the ground at the new DFW airport, released by Imaginesim. It was released about an hour ago. I just found it about 20 minutes ago. Got it installed and got it set up. It's my first time actually fully seeing everything, so we'll see what it looks like. The only reason I bought it was because of the pictures I saw on their website. It did look a little bit better than what I saw in a recent video, which is why I loaded the flight in without any clouds or anything, so we can see just how bright the scenery looks. It doesn't look bad. This is the E satellite at the E terminal. Doesn't look bad. Textures could probably be a little bit more Microsoft-ish looking, but it's not bad. And the interior is not modeled, and I have that turned on. It might only be modeled in certain terminals. The satellite's definitely not modeled. But it is here. It is set up the way it should be. Doesn't look bad. Like I said, the spots are also, I asked this question on that video, and you can actually see the spots are labeled here on the ground here where they should be. And I'm just trying to make this a little quick as I can to get out of here because I got to go to work. But I just wanted to do a quick overview video of this beforehand. We got some issue here, kind of like what we had on the other one with the runway. I did uninstall the handcrafted DFW, but for some reason it looks like something weird is still going on here with the textures. Yeah, something weird is still going on with the textures here. I'll have to double check, make sure I installed it correctly, but I know I did because I did remove all of the handcrafted airport and the other night light mod that was set up for it. But it doesn't look bad. It's pretty FPS friendly, it looks like, as well. I don't know if this terminal is modeled on the inside, but I did turn it on for the interior. Oh, there it goes. There's parts of it modeled. Again, it's not fantastic, but it is modeled. As I kind of saw in the other video, it does still kind of look P3D-ish textures wise, but it's here. I'll probably have to just reload the sim probably to fix that runway texture issue, see what's going on with that. But if that's a part of it, a Sobo still being an issue with that, then that's going to suck. But so far, it looks decent. And I am using PSXT, so this is live real-world traffic that's here on the ground, as also you're hearing from live ATC. But this is pretty much what it looks like. Again, the spots are all labeled like they're supposed to be as well. That was my main concern, I guess, because this is what I do at work. I can actually see the spots of what's where. And PSXT picked it up right away, as showing it being correctly labeled for taxiways, parking gates, and such. Again, textures could definitely be a little bit more up to date, but maybe that was going to be an issue with FPS as well, so they just kind of kept it as simple as possible. But these are definitely looking good. And this is the C terminal. I'm going to assume it's probably modeled about the same as the E terminal there. Let's see if we have any. So far we don't have anything. Oh yeah, it kind of looks the same. Kind of looks the same as the E terminal over there. It's not that great looking at here, but you can turn that off as well. They have it in their settings where you can turn it off with the interior being modeled. Why am I saying no live traffic? be seeing some live traffic here. Unless no one's moving around right now. But this is just static airplanes right now. It should be some live ones loading in as well. Oh, there they go. They're loading in now. And here's some live traffic along with the live ATC happening. So that's the Charlie terminal right here. We go over to the Alpha terminal. I don't know how much of it is actually set up or modeled. And I'm pretty sure maybe they're going to keep doing work on modeling the interior a little bit better, but it looks to me they all look exactly the same on the interior when you turn that function on. We'll go around here, see and make sure the Echo Sierra route, I think that is, that's up north, is good. They got the maintenance bays here as well. I don't know if they actually have them labeled as parking spots. Let me see if GSX, so I did update GSX and it does look like it's picking it up. E-parking, A Alpha, E-gates. Let's see if it says satellites. Let's go to like 26. Oh yeah, they actually do have it. That is pretty good. They do have an Echo 22 Bravo, Echo 22 Alpha. So that's cool. GSX is seeing it as it should. Let's see. Like I said, I think they made it probably as simple as they could to make it FPS friendly for everyone, maybe, you know, for every PC out there. But they do have the let me see if I can open the Ops Center real quick and kind of go over this. So just like in P3D World, they have the operating center where you can, you know, turn on certain things. Let me see, I do have building interiors turned on, so it's not like those are just some default stuff. I didn't turn street light poles, volumetric grass on. I don't need that, but they do have a button for GPU friendly stuff. They got parked vehicles and stuff. I didn't turn that on, but they do have that in the operations thing where you can see those things. Bridges look to be good. Let's go over here. Let me see this, because this is the part that's not working in the other sim, the other default one with the Echo Sierra route. It doesn't look like, and it may just be my texture still loading too, because you can see where this kind of fades off. I hope that's not how it's actually modeled, which let me see, let's get over here. No, it's not. It's actually here. Let's see if it's lit though, because see, it actually breaks off from the two runways over here. Yeah, I may just have to reload my textures. I really hope this isn't how it looks. But this is the break off to come up the long taxi route around. To continue when they're busy, that's the route they normally send everyone. But let's see. Let's see if we got good night lighting. And if the taxiway lights are actually showing here at night around this route. Looks like they are there. Yeah, the taxi lights are on the ground for that Echo Sierra route. Let's go back to real time. Actually, let's go back, see what it looks like nightlife at the terminals. Alright, lighting looks to be modeled. I got like 67 static airports or airplanes on the ground right now, so actually isn't bad looking. We got our last flight on the schedule is coming back here. I don't see the train. It may be here. The train goes around the entire, pretty much the entire terminal or airport. So it may be somewhere where I don't see it just yet. But the night light does look decent. Looks good. Looks doable. All right, and this is the Bravo terminal with the Stinger. Let's turn the lights back on. Let's go back to real time. Yeah, and like I said, all of the interior looks exactly the same, which doesn't actually look like this, but they modeled it just to give an internal view. But is definitely not, it's not realistic of what the real one looks like. And again, maybe they'll change that, update that. Yeah, Bill, I sent you a message earlier. Let me see what it looks like in here at night. Oh, they got night lights in here, but again, the textures look kind of terrible. But again, like I said, maybe it's FPS friendly for everyone to be able to get. For the price, though, I would say it's definitely not. The quality isn't matching the price. And they got the VDGSs, which not every gate has, but I assume you can. That is a setting you can turn on and off. In the ops thing, it shows safe gate TM docking. So if you unselect it, then I guess it'll turn it off at all of the gates. And then you can just use GSX for modeling that if you chose to do so. But this is the Bravo terminal. As I stated, there's the Stingers modeled like it should. Again, interior is not up to par as you would think. But again, we give benefit of the doubt. Like I said, maybe they just did it this way to make it as FPS friendly as possible. But yeah, that one's not modeled. But the gates are set up exactly how they are and labeled IRL. Because I worked this terminal and the Echo terminal, and I checked both. They both look good. Only issue, like I said, I'm having right now is figuring out what's going on with the ground textures at the runway. But there's no weird anomalies that we can see right now. But the Stinger, everything does look to be doing what it's supposed to. Looks good. Let's go over here to the Delta terminal. We'll really get to see what the modeling looks. That probably isn't going to be much of a difference. But let's see. That's 12 o'clock. All the gates are labeled. Like I said, they're labeled correctly. Now they have this actually connected from what it is in the real world, unlike the handcrafted one. So you do have this long walkway, which they did not model, that you can walk through, that you have to walk through to get to the Charlie terminal. I'm sorry, the Delta terminal. To get over here to here, they have this modeling done. Like I said, it is definitely not realistic of how it actually looks. They just gave every terminal the exact same look, modeling wise, because it definitely doesn't look like that over there. This terminal is very modern looking compared to what it looks like here. Yeah, they don't got the upstairs. Yeah, they don't really have anything modeled properly. Like I said, for the price tag, I wouldn't say the interior is worth it. Gates wise, correct parking, all of those things. Again, if you just like your home airport, like anybody, they're gonna have special ties to an airport, you know. So interior is what it is. But the exterior part of the airport so far looks good. Again, the textures could look more Microsoft-ish than it does. But I would say the fact that they did at least include GPU-friendly texture resolution, they could have definitely gone all out on the non-GPU-friendly version for those who GPU works perfectly fine to run high-fidelity scenery. But again, still better than the one I had. And like I said, even in here, this interior is all exactly the same. At least they did label the hotels correctly. It's the Grand Hyatt, and then the other one's the Hyatt Regency, I think is what it is, on that side of the terminal. But at least we have all the gates now, at least, modeled. And this is where the construction was showing on the handcrafted one, which is actually completed now. You actually have gates 1 through 4 over here. So Delta 4, 3, 2, and 1 are modeled. I don't know what this building looks like on the inside. Let's see. It looks like nothing. But they're modeled. At least it's here. Again, hopefully they'll do some updates, more updates to this to make it even better. Don't know that they will. Yeah, true that, Bill. They haven't. But they tried. They tried to model it to an extent. Like I said, they just gave every terminal the exact same look interior-wise. And then, of course, this is going to be the F terminal, which is under construction right now. Let's see. They have the spots. And, of course, they got these spots over here on the ground like they should. And hopefully, as this terminal, the F terminal gets built, they'll update it here in the scenery as well. But again, not bad. Let me see if we add. I'm gonna just fill up the terminal with static, see if they fill everything up. Let me get rid of real traffic. I don't want them on here. Let's go 100%. Says it got 277 parking spots. Let's go 100%. See if we can at least see some cargo aircraft where they're supposed to be at as well. All right, and then they do have actually, see this part they have to fix because there is no route that goes around this way for the 3-6 side, for the west side of the airport. This doesn't exist. This doesn't exist over here. They have to just cross the runways here. I saw it on a screenshot on their Facebook page, but I thought maybe that was just the screenshot that they would update it. But yeah, this north side here doesn't exist. On the west side here, part of the runways, there is no route that goes around these runways. They have to cross here or up here, which is also why there's a lasso for hold short of this area when landing, if they're landing that direction, because that's the bridge crossing. But this doesn't exist. I thought they would have updated that. But they probably just went off satellite imagery of Google. But yeah, this doesn't actually exist. These go-around abouts of the runways only exist on the east side, on the south and north side of the airport. And I saw and somebody commented on one of the posts on their Facebook page that two of these taxiways, I think he said Echo Mike and something else, I forgot, but they don't actually connect to this 3-5 left runway. There's no connection like here where the X is, where it's X'd out. I think this is that taxiway. It doesn't actually exist there, connecting to the runway, and I think it's this one on this side doesn't connect to the runway. So hopefully Imaginesim will do some updates and actually update things as they get time and get things right. But overall, right now I got 149 static airplanes, and I'm still getting 43 FPS. We got all the satellite full of airplanes. We got airplanes over here on the maintenance pad, which is, again, this is static stuff, so I can't hold them to this. But these pads do exist. The same over here. Let me go over here. I got the pads over here. Yeah, those pads over here will work. I mean, it's not bad. I'm getting good FPS to have over 149 static airplanes on the ground. This is better than what I was getting with the handcrafted airport with this amount of airplanes on the ground. So now also I don't have the weather turned on, so that makes a difference too. I'm pretty sure my FPS will drop some more. We got the FedEx ramp over here. And it looks pretty good. We got airplanes loaded here. Other than, again, this texture issue. Maybe it'll do like it's supposed to when I reboot the sim. But if that's a norm, then that sucks. We got the tower over here. Like I said, it doesn't look bad. It's doable. The anomalies aren't here from what I see, and I have photogrammetry is turned on, so I'm not seeing any of those weird anomalies here like we did with the handcrafted from Asobo, so that's good. And like I said, it's doable. It's not bad looking. It actually looks pretty good. Like I said, it could definitely look better for a Microsoft scenery. But if I can get good FPS coming into here at night and during the day, I'll take it. Again, it doesn't match the price tag, I would say. To me, it doesn't. But as long as I can land somewhere, and I'm pretty sure there's quite a few other people who said they were having FPS issues with the handcrafted, that they couldn't even fly into here if they wanted to, if everything looked like it was supposed to. So hopefully this one will look better for them and we can get more people flying in DFW. I saw a post on this, on the post they posted today when they released it, saying that they were happy it was released because we all have noticed there hasn't been much VATSIM traffic at DFW because of Asobo's crappy build of the airport. So no one flies into it or out of it for the most part, and therefore you rarely have VATSIM online because of it. Nobody flies out of it. There's no point in covering that, that area if no one's flying in and out of that airport. But so far it looks good. Like I said, and again, I got 123 park static airplanes, and looks like 29 live traffic. And it's not bad looking. It's moving pretty decently, I would say. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of give a quick overview of what it looked like for me before I go to work. Hopefully they'll update this. They're big right now. It looks great though. I'm getting it tonight. There you go. Yeah, like I said, I mean, to have a flyable DFW airport, hey, it's better than what was here. So I could say the same. Yeah, at least we got something. Again, for me, it doesn't fit the price tag. I had a feeling this is what the price was. This is what they were going to charge. It was, I think, €24, 24 Great British pounds is what I think it is. And I know it's a massive airport to have to recreate, but again, for that price tag, with the amount of people in this sim, they definitely still going to get their money's worth out of this airport, even if it was at a lower price. But not bad. Like I said, it's not bad looking. It'll do for me. At least it's more realistic than the other scenery that we had from Asobo. And then they said that from the site, it looks like they said that it's going to be, the 2024 is included. Whenever they get it going, it's free as long as you've purchased it. It'll come with the 2024 version from what they say. But yeah, for me, been working in operations at this airport, I mainly cared about seeing these spots on the ground and knowing what's what, like it should be. Because this is where I was saying over here, the lines that over here, you got the 44 line, 43 never gets used, and the 42 line. And they've actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think they're still doing some construction right here. I don't know why they didn't put that here. But yeah, there is still construction going on right there. They're not done with this part. Because these gates right here are blocked in at the real airport. 31 through 28, if I'm not mistaken, are blocked because they're doing construction right here in this area. They finally finished doing the construction right here that opened up the 42 line to enter. Before, we would have traffic come in for the Charlie gate, they would send them in on the E-terminal side spot, 44 line, and then they would go up to here and take the transition over, which they don't have that line modeled either. There should be lines, a transition line here that transitions back over to this side, or from here transitions over to here, or from here transitions over to there. But they don't have that showing on here. Very minor. Anyone who doesn't know would know. So at least the spots are labeled. They don't have the drop points on here, which I don't think they would know. Again, if they're looking at satellite imagery, those spots aren't even showing on Google yet. But again, from somebody with access to that information, there's some drop points here on the ramp as well. So if they're pushing like the United guys, when they push from Echo 8 and Echo 9 area, if you tell them to push tail west, they could block this line from traffic coming in to go around that way. So there's a drop point right in here to make sure that you tell them, hey, drop nose of beam drop point such and such, whatever that drop point is. And that way they make sure they push them out the way enough to keep this area clear so traffic can still come in or go out on the 44 line. So But yeah, on the satellite imagery of Google, they don't have the spots showing on the pavement like they do on the program that we use, and what it's showing like in real life. They're actually painted on the pavement. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll leave it at that. Again, pretty friendly FPS wise with no clouds. No clouds being shown. I've got 121 static airplanes on the ground, and it's pretty fluid, pretty smooth, and it's not bad looking. But I'll definitely get my money's worth that I spent on this. I'm definitely gonna get my money's worth out of this scenery. So initial price tag, if you don't plan on flying in here a lot, I think I've talked about that with some others before, that yeah, you know, the price tag is what it is, but if you utilize it a lot, the price tag won't be as heavy as it seems, because you use it so much, you'll get your money's worth out of it. So hopefully they keep updating it and, you know, keep making it better and go from there. But that is it. Hey, appreciate you, Bill, for stopping in. I'll leave it at that and get out of here so I can go to work.
We're Whiskey Kilo. We're going to Echo 6. Number 11331,
American 817 DFW ground, runway 36 right, taxi via Golf Whiskey, Quebec.
36 right, Golf Whiskey, Quebec for American 817. 31 Quebec, station, postcode is 5,000 even.
104. Envoy 4230 DFW ground, runway 35 left bridge. American local 825 monitor tower 124.15.